Welcome to our channel, where today we are diving deep into a topic that might just sound completely backward, yet holds an incredibly powerful secret to unlocking your true, untapped potential. Have you ever found yourself staring at a blank wall, or perhaps scrolling endlessly through social media, wondering what exactly is holding you back from achieving those big goals, those ambitious dreams you secretly harbor? It's a question many of us grapple with, a quiet whisper in the back of our minds asking why we aren't where we want to be, or who we want to become. The answer, surprisingly, might lie in the very things you absolutely despise doing. Yes, you heard that right. Do the things you hate is not just a catchy phrase. It's a profound philosophy, a seemingly paradoxical key to radical personal growth and self-mastery. Now, before you click away, thinking this is some form of masochistic self-help, let's explore why this counterintuitive idea is so potent. Our human nature, our very biology, is wired for comfort. We are expertly designed to conserve energy, to seek pleasure, and to avoid pain or discomfort whenever possible. This primal instinct, which once served us well in a world full of immediate threats, now often works against us in our modern pursuit of personal excellence. Think about it. How often do you choose hitting the snooze button over an early morning workout, opting for another episode of that captivating show instead of tackling that challenging work project, or getting lost in the endless scroll of your social feed rather than confronting a difficult conversation or an uncomfortable learning task? These behaviors, while offering immediate gratification and a fleeting sense of ease, are precisely the invisible barriers that prevent us from stepping outside our comfort zones and truly discovering what we are capable of. That comfort zone, as appealing as it sounds, is a deceptive space where growth comes to a screeching halt. When you consistently sidestep the things you don't like doing, you're inadvertently placing artificial limits on your capacity to learn, to adapt, to evolve, and ultimately, to thrive. You're effectively choosing stagnation over transformation. So, why is it that confronting and actively engaging in these detested tasks is so monumentally important for your personal development journey? This isn't just about gritty determination, it's about strategic self-improvement. The initial hurdle, the sheer resistance you feel towards these activities, is actually where the magic begins. This internal friction, this mental tug-of-war, is your first opportunity for growth. By acknowledging it, and then choosing to act despite it, you begin to rewrite your brain's programming. You start training your mind to seek out challenge rather than shrink from it. This process, while uncomfortable initially, lays the foundational groundwork for a more resilient, disciplined, and capable version of yourself. It's about building mental toughness, forging willpower, and cultivating the kind of inner strength that propels you forward even when motivation wanes. Throughout this video, we are going to unpack this concept layer by layer. We'll delve into exactly why embracing these uncomfortable tasks is the most direct path to forging ironclad discipline and unwavering willpower. We'll explore how actively facing what you'd rather avoid becomes the ultimate strategy for expanding your personal comfort zone, pushing boundaries you didn't even know existed, and uncovering hidden talents you might never have discovered. Furthermore, we'll discuss how this practice builds incredible resilience, preparing you to gracefully navigate the inevitable challenges and setbacks that life throws your way. And finally, we'll equip you with practical, actionable strategies, a clear roadmap for identifying those hated tasks, breaking down the resistance, and seamlessly integrating this powerful approach into your daily life to ensure sustainable growth and unlock your deepest potential. This isn't about enduring misery. It's about harnessing discomfort as a powerful catalyst for profound self-transformation. It's about understanding that the very activities you instinctively recoil from are often precisely the ones that hold the greatest dividends for your future self. Think for a moment about the tasks that consistently appear on your mental avoid at all costs list. Is it that demanding report at work? The daunting prospect of learning a new skill? Initiating that difficult conversation you've been putting off? Or perhaps something as seemingly mundane as meticulously organizing your cluttered living space. Whatever these tasks are, they represent areas where your growth is currently being stifled. The emotional and mental energy spent avoiding them is often far greater than the energy required to simply do them. This avoidance creates a self-reinforcing cycle of procrastination, guilt, and reduced self-efficacy. Each time we opt for the easy path, we tell ourselves, subconsciously, that we are not capable of handling discomfort, that we are not strong enough to face our fears. This erodes our self-confidence and perpetuates the illusion that our potential is somehow limited. This video aims to dismantle that illusion, to show you that within the very fabric of your aversion lies the raw material for your greatest triumphs. We are going to transform "I hate doing this" into "this is where I grow." Get ready to reframe your understanding of discomfort and unlock the extraordinary person you are truly meant to be. This journey starts now, by consciously deciding to lean into the very things that make you squirm, because that's where true power lies. Let's be honest with ourselves for a moment. Our human nature has a powerful, almost irresistible pull towards comfort and away from anything that feels difficult or unpleasant. It's an innate survival mechanism, deeply wired into our brains, urging us to conserve energy and avoid pain. We'd rather hit the snooze button and enjoy those extra minutes of warmth than jump out of bed for an early morning workout. We find ourselves drawn to binge-watching our favorite shows instead of diving into that challenging professional development book that sits unopened on our shelf. Scrolling endlessly through social media feeds often feels more appealing than confronting a complex task that demands our full mental energy and focus. These behaviors, while offering immediate gratification and a temporary sense of ease, are actually invisible barriers, subtly but surely preventing us from stepping beyond our current boundaries and fully exploring the vast reserves of hidden potential within us. This space we instinctively gravitate towards, this comfort zone, might feel safe and familiar, like a cozy blanket on a chilly evening. But it's also, paradoxically, the very place where personal growth comes to a grinding halt. Think about it. When you consistently sidestep the things you dislike, you're not just avoiding temporary discomfort. You're actively limiting your capacity to learn new skills, to adapt to changing circumstances, and to truly evolve as an individual. You're essentially telling your mind and body that you're content with the status quo, even if deep down you yearn for something more significant, something truly transformative. This continuous avoidance creates a cycle where your comfort zone shrinks, and your potential remains untapped, trapped within self-imposed limits. It's like having a high-performance sports car but only ever driving it at parking lot speeds. You possess incredible capabilities, but you're choosing not to engage them. So, why is it so incredibly important to confront and actively engage with the very things you'd rather avoid? The answer is multifaceted and profoundly impactful. Firstly, and perhaps most crucially, it's the ultimate training ground for building robust discipline and unwavering willpower. Every single time you win the internal battle against procrastination and choose to embark on a task you absolutely dread, you're not just completing an item on a to-do list, you are actively strengthening your willpower muscle. It's a process strikingly similar to physical training at the gym. Each rep, each heavier weight you lift, makes you incrementally stronger. Similarly, each time you override that internal resistance and push through the initial discomfort, you're becoming more mentally resilient, more self-controlled, and more capable of taking purposeful action. This repeated act of choosing discipline over desire doesn't just build self-confidence. It also helps you forge powerful, success-driven habits. What once felt like a monumental chore gradually transforms into a natural, effective, and even anticipated part of your daily routine. The initial friction lessens, replaced by a sense of accomplishment and forward momentum. Secondly, embracing the things you hate is arguably the most effective pathway to truly expanding your comfort zone. The activities we instinctively shy away from are often those that are novel, challenging, or demand that we acquire new knowledge and skills. They are the frontiers of our personal development. When you courageously venture beyond the familiar, when you dare to step into that uncomfortable territory, you invariably unearth latent skills you never knew you possessed. You discover innovative approaches to problem solving, and you gain fresh perspectives that were previously invisible to you within the confines of your familiar routine. Consider the common aversion to public speaking. Many people rank it as one of their greatest fears. Yet, consciously forcing yourself to practice and participate in presentations doesn't just hone your communication skills. It fundamentally shifts your relationship with fear itself. By conquering that specific fear, you don't just become a better speaker. You unlock a deeper sense of self-belief and open doors to countless new opportunities in your career and personal life that would have remained firmly shut had you allowed that fear to dictate your actions. It's a vivid illustration of how pushing through a single discomfort can create a ripple effect of positive change across your entire life. Thirdly, this practice of intentionally doing difficult things dramatically enhances your resilience and adaptability. Life, as we all know, is an unpredictable journey, fraught with unexpected challenges and curveballs. When you've cultivated the habit of actively confronting and proactively managing things you dislike, you become inherently more robust and less likely to be derailed by unforeseen adversities. Instead of crumbling or giving up at the first sign of difficulty, you develop an inner fortitude. You learn to view setbacks not as insurmountable obstacles, but as opportunities to strategize, to find creative solutions, and to grow stronger. This ability to bounce back, to adapt quickly, and to find your footing amidst chaos is an invaluable asset, especially in today's rapidly changing and often volatile world. It's the difference between being a leaf easily blown away by the wind and being a deeply rooted tree that can weather any storm. Your capacity for self-recovery and flexible adjustment becomes a superpower, enabling you to not just survive, but truly thrive, no matter what challenges life throws your way. You develop a deep trust in your own ability to navigate complexities, transforming potential pain points into springboards for further growth and mastery. The more you willingly lean into discomfort, the more you build an internal reservoir of strength that serves you well in every domain of your life. This isn't about seeking out misery, it's about strategically leveraging discomfort as a catalyst for profound personal transformation, understanding that true growth happens at the edge of your perceived limits, not within the cozy confines of what's already easy. This crucial understanding shifts our perspective from viewing discomfort as an adversary to recognizing it as an invaluable ally. It's about consciously stepping into those spaces that trigger resistance, not out of self-punishment, but out of a profound commitment to personal evolution. When we lean into the things we initially recoil from, we aren't merely enduring. We are actively engaging in a process of transformation that fundamentally alters our inner landscape. This isn't just a philosophical concept. There's a powerful psychological and neurological basis for why this approach is so incredibly effective. Our brains are incredibly adaptive organs, a phenomenon known as neuroplasticity. Every time you push past the urge to avoid a difficult task, whether it's waking up early for a run when your bed feels impossibly warm, or tackling that daunting report you've been putting off, you're literally rewiring your brain. You're forging new neural pathways, strengthening the connections associated with discipline, perseverance, and problem solving, while simultaneously weakening the pathways linked to procrastination and avoidance. Think of it like building a mental muscle. Just as consistent physical training leads to stronger, more resilient muscles, consistently engaging in mentally challenging or uncomfortable activities builds a more robust and adaptable mind. The initial friction, that gut feeling of "I don't want to do this," is precisely where the growth begins. It's the signal that you're about to venture into new territory, a sign that your brain is being prompted to work differently, to forge new connections. This process doesn't always feel good in the moment, but the long-term benefits are immense. You're not just completing a task, you're actively cultivating an anti-fragile mindset, a concept where instead of merely recovering from stress, you actually get stronger because of it. Instead of being damaged by disorder, you thrive in it. This means that every time you consciously choose to do something you dread but know is beneficial, you're not just checking a box. You're investing in a deeper capacity to handle future challenges, to innovate, and to perform at higher levels across all aspects of your life. This internal shift is where true potential begins to unfurl. One of the most immediate and profound impacts of embracing what you hate is the dismantling of procrastination. Procrastination isn't merely laziness. It's often a complex emotional response to discomfort, fear, or overwhelming tasks. When we systematically commit to doing the thing we hate first, or at least engaging with it promptly, we short-circuit the entire cycle of avoidance. The biggest hurdle is almost always starting. Once you commit to that initial 5-minute sprint on a dreaded project, or that first awkward sentence in a language you're struggling to learn, the inertia begins to shift. Momentum builds. The task often turns out to be less formidable than your mind had conjured it to be, or you find a rhythm you didn't anticipate. This small victory against internal resistance sends a powerful message to your subconscious. I am capable of facing difficult things, and I can overcome them. This repeated affirmation slowly but surely eradicates the power of procrastination, replacing it with a proactive, action-oriented mindset. You learn to trust yourself more, knowing that even when the urge to defer is strong, you have the internal fortitude to push through. Furthermore, this deliberate confrontation with discomfort is the most effective way to truly expand your comfort zone, not just superficially, but profoundly. Many people talk about expanding their comfort zone, yet they often interpret it as trying new, exciting things that still feel relatively safe or enjoyable. True expansion comes from voluntarily engaging with activities that genuinely make you uncomfortable, even anxious, and then observing how your perception of them changes over time. Imagine hating public speaking to the point of physical dread. By systematically practicing, starting with small groups, then larger ones, you don't just become good at speaking, you fundamentally alter your relationship with fear. The very act of doing what you hate, repeatedly and with intention, transforms the hated activity from a source of anxiety into a domain of competence, and sometimes even enjoyment. This isn't about just tolerating the discomfort. It's about mastering it to the point where what once felt terrifying now feels manageable, or even empowering. This process builds self-efficacy, your belief in your ability to succeed in specific situations or accomplish a task. The more experiences you accumulate where you successfully navigate discomfort, the stronger your self-efficacy becomes, unlocking a broader range of actions and ambitions you previously deemed impossible for yourself. The implications for building resilience and adaptability in a rapidly changing world are immense. Life doesn't ask us what we like or dislike before throwing challenges our way. It presents us with unexpected obstacles, difficult conversations, professional setbacks, and personal crises. If our default mode is to recoil from anything uncomfortable, we will be ill-equipped to handle the inevitable curveballs life throws at us. By habitually engaging with the things we hate, we are essentially running psychological fire drills. We are training ourselves to remain calm under pressure, to problem solve when faced with undesirable situations, and to bounce back quickly from perceived failures. This cultivated resilience isn't about being fearless. It's about developing the capacity to act despite fear, to adapt to new circumstances, and to persevere through adversity. When you've already conquered your internal resistance to early morning workouts or a challenging coding project, the external shocks of a demanding client or an unexpected deadline feel less overwhelming. You've built a robust internal system that understands how to mobilize resources, manage stress, and find solutions, even when everything within you screams to retreat. This proactive engagement with internal discomfort prepares you for real-world uncertainty, transforming potential vulnerabilities into strengths, and ensuring that you don't just survive change but actively flourish within it. So, this isn't about masochism or seeking out suffering for its own sake. It's a sophisticated strategy for self-mastery. It's about recognizing that the path to unlocking your true potential is often paved with tasks and activities that your immediate instincts tell you to avoid. It's the intentional choice to confront that initial resistance, to push past the inertia, and to discover the profound strength and capabilities that lie dormant beneath layers of comfort and avoidance. By consistently choosing to do the things you hate, especially those that align with your long-term goals and values, you are systematically dismantling the self-imposed barriers that limit your growth. You are cultivating a mindset of unwavering discipline, fearless exploration, and enduring resilience. This transformative journey is where the magic truly happens, where your perceived limitations dissolve, and your genuine, untapped potential finally gets the space it needs to blossom fully and vibrantly into the person you are truly meant to become. And it is precisely in this pursuit of what feels uncomfortable, what your mind instinctively recoils from, that the true architects of your future self are forged. The act of consciously choosing to engage with tasks you dread isn't some form of self-punishment. It is, in fact, the most potent strategy for self-liberation, a deliberate investment in a future where you are more capable, more confident, and ultimately, more fulfilled. When you systematically confront these disliked activities, you're not just crossing items off a to-do list. You are actively engaging in a profound process of self-sculpting, building foundational strengths that will serve you in every facet of your life. This process unfolds primarily through three powerful mechanisms: the cultivation of unwavering discipline and willpower, the deliberate expansion of your comfort zone, and the robust development of your resilience and adaptability. Let's first delve into the formidable power of discipline and willpower. Think of your willpower not as a fixed resource, but as a muscle. Just like any other muscle in your body, it strengthens with consistent use and atrophies with neglect. Every single time you override the urge to procrastinate, to choose the easy path, or to simply give up on a task you find unpleasant, you are effectively performing a rep in the gym of your mind. You are lifting a mental weight, and with each successful lift, that muscle becomes a little bit stronger. It's that moment when your alarm blares at 5 a.m., and every fiber of your being screams for 5 more minutes of sleep, but you push past that internal resistance and swing your legs out of bed. Or when a challenging report sits on your desk, daunting and complex, and you choose to open it and begin, rather than scrolling aimlessly through social media. These aren't just isolated acts, they are deliberate choices that reinforce a neural pathway for action, for pushing through discomfort. Over time, these small victories accumulate, transforming seemingly insurmountable tasks into manageable steps, and turning initial aversion into practice competence. This consistent self-mastery not only builds an undeniable sense of self-trust, but it also fundamentally alters your relationship with effort. The once dreaded actions start to feel less like Herculean efforts and more like natural, albeit still demanding, parts of your routine. You begin to understand that the initial friction is often the hardest part, and once you start, momentum takes over. This consistent practice of overcoming internal resistance lays the bedrock for lasting habits, the kind of habits that propel you toward your loftiest goals without the constant internal battle. You're not just doing the things you hate, You're actively reprogramming your response to them, building a mental fortitude that empowers you to tackle any challenge, regardless of your initial inclination. Secondly, embracing the things you hate is the most direct and effective route to expanding your comfort zone. The comfort zone, while initially feeling safe and familiar, is ultimately a gilded cage. It's a space where growth stagnates, where new opportunities remain unseen, and where your potential lies dormant. The things we instinctively dislike are often precisely those experiences, skills, or challenges that lie just beyond our current capabilities or understanding. They represent the frontier of our personal growth. When you bravely step out of this familiar territory and engage with what makes you uncomfortable, you are compelled to learn, to adapt, and to innovate. Take public speaking, for instance. For many, it's a terrifying prospect, a task they would rather avoid at all costs. But by consciously choosing to practice, to join a Toastmasters group, or to volunteer for presentations, you don't just improve your verbal communication skills. You dismantle a deeply ingrained fear. You discover a hidden capacity for articulate expression, for commanding attention, and for connecting with an audience. This isn't merely about the skill itself, it's about the profound self-discovery that accompanies it. You realize you are capable of far more than you ever gave yourself credit for. Perhaps you detest networking events, finding them awkward and draining. Yet, forcing yourself to attend and engage, even for a short while, can lead to unexpected connections, new perspectives, or even career-defining opportunities. Each foray outside your comfort zone is an adventure into the unknown where you uncover dormant talents, develop creative problem-solving skills, and gain fresh perspectives you would never have encountered while staying within your familiar boundaries. This continuous expansion creates a larger canvas for your life, allowing you to paint bolder strokes and experience a richer, more vibrant existence. It's about proving to yourself, repeatedly, that the boundaries you perceived were largely self-imposed, and that true liberation lies in challenging those very boundaries. Finally, and perhaps most crucially in our rapidly changing world, engaging with the things you hate significantly builds your resilience and adaptability. Life is inherently unpredictable, filled with unexpected setbacks, failures, and shifts that are entirely beyond our control. If your default mode is to retreat from anything unpleasant or challenging, you will find yourself ill-equipped to navigate these inevitable storms. However, when you make a habit of proactively facing and overcoming self-imposed discomforts, you develop an inner strength, a mental toughness, that becomes invaluable when external challenges arise. You become less easily discouraged, less prone to giving up when things get tough, and more adept at finding solutions when obstacles appear. Think about it. If you've routinely pushed yourself through grueling workouts you hated, or painstakingly debugged complex code when you'd rather be doing anything else, you've already practiced the mental fortitude required to persist when faced with an actual crisis. You learn to embrace the struggle, to view setbacks not as endpoints but as opportunities for learning and recalibration. This hardened resolve allows you to bounce back from adversity more quickly, to pivot and adapt to new circumstances with greater ease, and to maintain a positive outlook even amidst chaos. You move from a reactive stance, where challenges feel overwhelming, to a proactive one, where you actively seek strategies to overcome and grow. This isn't about becoming immune to difficulties, it's about developing the inner tools to manage them effectively, transforming every challenge into a stepping stone for further growth. The discipline you cultivate and the expanded comfort zone you achieve directly feed into this wellspring of resilience, making you a force to be reckoned with, capable of thriving in any environment. So, how do you actually begin this transformative process? It starts with a simple yet powerful step, identifying those specific actions or tasks that you dislike, but inherently know are beneficial for your personal or professional growth. This isn't punishment, it's strategic growth. Identify those persistent thoughts: I should exercise, I need new software, or I want to improve public speaking. These aren't idle, they're valuable signals pointing to untapped potential. Perhaps it's waking earlier, tackling a complex work problem, or learning a challenging new skill. Be honest about what makes you uncomfortable but will undeniably propel you forward. These areas are ripe for profound growth. The biggest hurdle is just starting. This is where the 5-minute rule becomes your secret weapon. Commit to the disliked task for only 5 minutes. That's it. This rule bypasses your brain's resistance. Our minds avoid discomfort. Long tasks trigger procrastination. But 5 minutes feels manageable, trivial, drastically lowering the entry barrier. Often, once initial inertia is overcome, momentum builds. You'll continue longer, sometimes completing the entire task. This isn't trickery, it's breaking dread, Proving the start is the only truly difficult part. Imagine difficulty is greater than actual experience, building confidence from a small commitment. It's a powerful hack for overcoming inertia. Beyond the jumpstart, break down large, intimidating goals into smaller, digestible steps. If your hated task is mastering a new language, I will learn French feels overwhelming. Instead, dissect it. I will learn 5 new vocabulary words today, or I will practice speaking for 10 minutes. Each small victory builds confidence, reducing the burden. This makes insurmountable challenges feel achievable, fostering progress. It's creating winnable battles that conquer the larger objective. This reframing transforms daunting aspirations into a clear, step-by-step path, making sustained effort more likely and the journey less daunting. Consistent progress feels both achievable and rewarding. Consistency is transformation's architect. To embed these actions, establish a concrete schedule and commit, making tasks non-negotiable habits. Choose a specific time each day or week for your disliked activity. Treat it like an important appointment. Perhaps 7 a.m. for a workout, or 3 p.m. Tuesday for that difficult report. The goal is removing daily decision-making. When a task becomes a habit, your brain expends less energy debating it. It simply becomes routine. This consistent effort builds mental fortitude, reinforcing that you follow through, regardless of initial inclination. Over time, a hated chore transforms into a satisfying, anticipated part of your day, providing tangible benefits and personal growth. Leveraging routine's power effectively overcomes resistance. Finally, don't overlook positive reinforcement. After successfully completing a challenging, disliked task, especially when pushing through resistance, acknowledge your effort and reward yourself. Don't undo progress. No unhealthy meals after a workout. Instead, choose small, meaningful rewards that reinforce the positive behavior. Enjoy your favorite podcast, take a relaxing bath, or simply celebrate your discipline. This creates a powerful positive feedback loop, associating difficult tasks with pleasure and achievement. It trains your mind to value pushing through discomfort, making future challenges less daunting and solidifying new behaviors. This approach strategically links discomfort with reward. In essence, embracing doing the things you hate isn't punishment. It's a profound strategic framework for self-mastery and unlocking genuine potential. We've seen how identifying beneficial but uncomfortable tasks, employing the 5-minute rule for inertia, breaking down goals, scheduling non-negotiable habits, and rewarding efforts collectively paves the way for significant personal growth. This isn't just about pushing yourself, it's about reshaping your relationship with discomfort. It cultivates discipline, expands your comfort zone, and unyielding resilience across all facets of life. It's a holistic approach to building a stronger, more capable you. The journey to true potential isn't found solely in pursuing what feels good. It's often carved from confronting and conquering what feels arduous. This paradoxical approach transforms obstacles into catalysts for strength, learning, and self-discovery. It shifts you from passive participant to active architect of your destiny. You stop waiting for inspiration, instead cultivating discipline that generates its own. This is the secret, not eliminating discomfort, but strategically leveraging it as your most powerful tool for continuous evolution, personal breakthrough, and sustained achievement. So, I challenge you. Don't wait for motivation. Don't let procrastination win. Take action, even when every fiber of your being resists. Starting today, pick one thing you dislike but know will benefit your growth. Apply the 5-minute rule. Commit. You will be astonished by the profound transformation it sparks, not just in your abilities, but in your entire perception of what you are truly capable of achieving. This isn't just a philosophy, it's an actionable pathway to a more fulfilled, accomplished, and limitless you. Embrace the discomfort. Embrace your power. Thank you for joining us. If you found this video insightful and believe in conscious discomfort for unlocking potential, please hit that like button, share this message, and subscribe to our channel for more transformative insights. Keep pushing your boundaries, keep growing, and remember, the greatest achievements often lie just beyond the edge of what you think you can't stand. Until next time, stay disciplined, stay resilient, and unlock the magnificent potential within you.